I don't think they'll feel bad, because all they ever seem to do, these countries that are struggling, they never give anything back.
Right.
They've always got their hand out.
Right.
And it's been like that since I was a kid.
Yeah.
I remember being a kid, people knocking on the door, my mum going, "Don't look at the door, there's someone there." And we'd just pretend they weren't
Charity
there.
starts at home, not at your home.
No, but because it's all the time. I mean, my mum didn't like answering the door anyway. Even if it was the pools man, she'd sort of say, "Don't move," and he might not see that we're here.
So you just froze where a man was at the door.
Well, you just, because the front room was near the door, so people
Right.
could see in.
Right.
So you just sort of stayed there and pretend that either you
Well, so
can't hear
like
him.
some sort of predator, like they can't see if you don't move.
Well, even if he was peering in through the window and he could see you in there not moving.
So he looked through, and there was 3 people just frozen, right, like statues, right, just their eyes looking at him,
Yeah.
and him confused.
Well,
not-
they're clearly dead. I'll move on. There's obviously been a gas leak.
And did you say sitting or stand up, or did you sort of like throw yourself
No,
to
we
the floor?
just sat on the, you know, where you were, and you just stayed still.
But did he ever look in and see?
I don't know, because you didn't turn round, did you?
So you would pretend you couldn't hear the door.
It's the easiest, honestly, the amount of times people would come round, it's either... It seemed to be the 80s had a lot of it, because it was all the Avon thing, wasn't it? It was perfume,
Yeah.
Tupperware.
What?
Tupperware.
Tupperware.
Yeah, the plastic boxes.
It's dishes for fat people. Here we go. Oh, these are big. God, they are. They're for fat fuckers like you to eat ourselves.
There was the pools man.
Right.
Just a lot of charity stuff. Just a lot. It seemed to be the time, the 80s, that they suddenly found out they can sort of scav money off people.
Yeah.
and
Oh,
give
there
it
was a
to
lot of scavving.
So that's why we used to ignore the
I
door.
just love this image of you.
Yeah, so
You're in
silent.
the lounge.
Yeah.
You're having a little boogie. It's Christmas. Someone's
Yeah.
tapping on the glass. Freeze. They just go, well, we'll move on.
Yeah.
Nothing here for us.
Hammer time. Silence. There's a. Okay, right. Let's do the scenario. I'm at the door. I can see you're in there. You might as well come open the door. Carl, why are you staying so still? Are you trying to avoid me?
It's working.
Carl, your eyes are moving. Can you come to the door, please?
I suppose in the end you've got to move on.
Carl, no, I'm going to stay here. I'm just going to stay here until you have to move. Carl. This is the most pointless podcast we've ever done. Me shouting your name and you pretending not to be here. Okay, and I'll move on then. Right.
It works.
Yeah.
Works
okay.
perfectly.
Because
Brilliant.
once they've got you, that's the whole thing with charity. Once they've stopped you in the street, if you've stopped, that's it.
Keeps on going.
You're handing something over.
Yeah.
I mean, the amount of times I've been stopped. I mean, the good thing now is you've got an iPod, so you can just either pretend you're on the phone or listen to music.
Or just stay very still. Just freeze. When someone says, "Can I trouble you for..." Oh, he's totally frozen.
That would be amazing, because they're normally in one spot, aren't they?
Yeah.
So it's just
So
they're
as soon
carrying
as
on
they
selling,
stop you,
and
so
you've
that
got
you
to
just
stay
freeze
there
it,
for the
you-
rest of it, outside Waitrose.
Yeah.
For 7 hours.
Yeah, it goes dark. Well, I've finished my shift. I'm off, and then you just see your eyes just see them walk away like that, and they all meet in their little tunics, and then you start walk. They look back, and you freeze, and then they walk on, and then you can go home 7 hours late.
If you would like to donate to Comic Relief, why not visit rednoseday.com. Ever since I was young, I've always liked going in charity shops, particularly because, you know, you find sort of interesting old records in there. Never sort of gone in there to buy clothes and stuff, but, you know, books, whatever. And I was in a charity shop, you know, and I've patronised them for years, and I noticed out through the window there was like a paparazzi guy, and he was taking pictures of me through the window. That was a bit weird. And obviously the old ladies in there didn't have any idea who I was, so they just thought that was a bit strange. And then it was in one of the magazines, like the kind of celebrity magazines. It was, oh, here's Steve Merchant. You know, despite all the money he must have made from his various projects, he's still going in charity shops. And you just think, but sorry, how is that a bad thing? Like, I'm giving my money to a charity. Isn't that a noble cause? I mean, obviously that's not the reason I'm doing it. I'm doing it
To save 50p.
to save 50p, of course. But
But they don't know
they
that.
don't know that.
No. You might be
don't know
going there
me.
and going, keep the change, love. You never have said
Never
that.
said that.
Never said that in your life.
No, occasionally I'll shoplift. I'm no mug. 70p? Don't you think that seems frustrating, though, that...
Yeah, but what do you expect? What are they going to do? They're not going to say Steve Merchant, Heart of Gold, are they?
I just thought all these things would slowly accumulate towards the OBE.
Yeah, I know. I think you've got to do a bit more than get Roger Whittaker's greatest hits for 10p.
My mum's always in them. And because my mum goes in them, my dad sort of got into going into them now because, you know, the weather's not good or whatever, and he thinks rather than standing outside... He went in one, and he was after a jacket. Just like a... sort of a, you know, casual but quite smart.
Yep.
He's quite a big bloke, so it's difficult to find them, right? So he's in there, sees the jacket, goes, oh look, here's that sort of jacket that I'm after. Picks it up, tries it on. Oh, it fits. It's good, this, isn't it? She's going, yeah. While she's looking at, you know, a toad that you put money in or whatever.
Yeah.
So he gets to the counter, and it's got a price tag on it, £8, right? So he said, I'll give you £6. He had £6 in his pocket.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll give you £6 for that. She went, no, it's £8. Now that's wrong, isn't it? That's a good price, isn't it? £6. They've got it for nothing.
Yeah.
And she wouldn't have any of it. He said, surely something's better than nothing. If you don't give me this for £6, it's going back on the hanger. And they said, no, sorry.
Yeah, but they might later sell it for £8.
But they might not, and it's been given to them for free.
Yeah,
so
but
what does it matter?
But the old
Who's
lady's
come
not...
up with the price of £8? Who is this?
Yeah.
But
They don't
she's
know
not
how much it's
haggling.
worth.
She's not there to haggle. Someone's priced it up, and she's just a volunteer who's...
Maybe she thought of it that she was losing the charity £2 as opposed to gaining it £6.
But they haven't gained anything because he put it back on, and how many people want it? How many people are looking out for that jacket?
It might have been the principle. She might have thought, oh, you can't haggle when it's for charity.
It was a fair price. I give a lot of stuff to charity. A lot. Most of the time, just because it's nearer than the wheelie bin is. It's just a way of getting rid of garbage most of the time with me. Stick it all in a bin bag. Good stuff on the top. The stuff that you're embarrassed about, stick it in the bottom of the bag.
What are you embarrassed about?
Just old shoes, trainers.
Some of the books you've written.
Socks, underpants.
Underpants. You do not give underpants to charity.
Washed.
But who's gonna wash? I know, as opposed to just like peeling them off.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know why you've got a problem with underpants, but shoes. You see, I'd
Who's
never buy
buying
shoes.
underpants from a charity shop, though? I mean, I don't care how low you are on the socio-economic level.
I know.
You can get about 14 pairs for £1 in some places.
I know. I don't know who's buying underpants. I don't know who's buying your underpants. I definitely don't know.
I mean, if they were signed...
Yeah.
That is something I like doing, though. When I've given to charity, I like going past the shop and seeing if it made it in the window.
Any success?
Yeah, recently, the one not far from here had me egg cups in the window. So it's like, oh, look, there's...
What, you've got a new set of egg cups, so you've got rid of your old ones?
Yeah.
I don't think we've got any egg cups.
Haven't you?
No.
Why
I don't
not?
think so. I don't...
You don't have boiled eggs?
I can't imagine you... It would take... You'd be too impatient to boil an egg, Rick.
Well, yeah, I just... It's just those things you think of never buying, like, egg cups, a whisk.
No, but you do eventually.
I suppose you got to, haven't you? Yeah. It's things that were just always there when you grow up, isn't it? That you have to go and you think of, but not second hand though.
But there's nothing wrong. Honestly, it's hardly. I mean, it's made the window space. That's how good it was. It had hardly been used, that egg cup, because it was a doubler, and I think they were quite small for the egg size that I get. I think they were made more for the small egg, and I have the large egg.
Right.
So it was never really
just
used.
like your underpants.
But are you ever been a charity shopper, Rick?
Yeah. What I used to do a lot of was records and tapes and things like that. But it ended up sort of being ironic. It really ended up like getting something like Shane Rich's greatest hits, and things like that.
A bit of a dilemma that my Auntie Nora had. She likes charity shops as well. She's got a neighbour. Went out to Graceland's, big Elvis fan. They came back. She said, "How was Graceland's?" They said, "Oh, it was brilliant. Best holiday we've ever had. Probably go back again."